Good morning. It's Beckie Belote here. And if you're thinking I don't look so good, it's because I really don't, but I feel so good because I just got back from my weekend retreat with lots of mates and fellow advisors. And just when you think your team is not, the best team ever, like I feel like so grateful for my team of women every single day. And here I had a really fun weekend where they were coming to learn, and I was just so happy. And they reward me with a massage. So, anyways, today I got a massage, and so I have no makeup on. My hair is a little bit oily, and I'm really not sure why. My husband came in and he said, "Is today Tip Tuesday? Because your hair really doesn't look like a Tip Tuesday day." So, anyways, I decided to just do it anyways because I don't want to wash off because they put all those nice oils on your body. So I don't want to shower quite yet. So, anyways, I apologize for the real me, and I'm glad you came. So, just a couple of reminders. A new product has landed, the Passport Collection. So the Passport Collection is a travel themed collection, which is absolutely beautiful. It means you can use it for travel anywhere, so it's not specific at all. Uh, however, they came out with some embellishment packs that will coordinate for our Las Vegas travelers, our San Francisco travelers, and our Nashville travelers. So they have been hearing you. A lot of you are traveling within the United States, but the first thing I thought is international travel when I looked at it and passport concept. So it's going to be good for just about anything. So go check it out. Just released as usual with a first time release. You can get the whole bundle for 10% off. So you want to go check that out. Another thing you might want to check out because we never know when these guys are going to are going to sell out is your secret box. All right. So I think I talked about the secret box last week. And if you want to get in the spirit of things and decorate your secret box, you simply need your hole punch, your circle punch. And for that little smile, you might want to use the little arrow on your riveting template. So, anyways, I think it's nice. If you're prone to opening your box before you're supposed to opening it, though, maybe you should let your advisor hold on to it, Margot. Maybe some of you should just say, you know what, I'll collect it when I'm supposed to because I have a problem and I like to open it before I'm supposed to. So, anyways, they're fun. Um, take if you're not prone to it, take it with you. Take it with you everywhere you go and advertise our secret boxes for us. All right, so enough of that. If you've never had a secret box, they're exclusive things that you can't get any other way. And this one is mine. Do you want to go ahead and open it now? Just kidding. All right, so let's move along. So today for Tip Tuesday, by the way, I am Beckie Belote from Newport News, Virginia. I am a creative memories advisor, and I love what I do. I love everything that CM has to offer. I just spent the weekend with some girls that also earned the trip to Puerto Vallarta, which is coming up in April. And some of them, I have one new girl on my team. Hey, Mary Martin, brand new. I mean, she's been with the company just a little bit over a year, and she went for the trip. She started in September when she went from full time at work to a little part time. Started adding a little extra hours, and she got wild card, which is one of the levels that you can earn, which means you don't really earn the trip, but you have a chance of earning the trip. What you do earn is a collection of fun stuff that no one else will get except for trip earners. So she already earned that. And then they do a drawing and they pick some people. She got picked. So brand new, and she gets to go on an amazing trip with me in Puerto Vallarta. So anyway, super excited about that. And I'm mentioning it only because some of you have been putting off joining Creative Memories. And now is the time. Join now so that you have plenty of time to earn the trip if that's what you would like. So, anyways, just had to put a plug in because I think it's amazing. I love free travel. Okay, so I'm going to put this away because I don't think I need this today, the ribbing template. Put it out of our way. And I am going to show you something that I think you're going to think is super cool today. So first of all, I'm going to tell you about the line that I'm going to be working with. I'm going to be working with Sydney Scenes. So for those of you that see something like this, you're like, Sydney, that's Australia. Never been to Australia. And you think you don't need this. Sometimes I think people miss out when they assume that they can't use it. So I'm going to show you how pretty this is and why you may want to do a double take on it because it's very inexpensive line. And I think you'll get more than your money's worth out of it. So let me change my screen a little bit. All right. So that's my doggie. Oh, it's so cute. She's standing on a Creative Memories box in the hallway. So bizarre. That dog. All right. So here's well, actually, let me open the pack for you. So there's this XL embellishment, which fits a photo. You can just put a photo in there. It's pretty just the way it is. If you're buying these and you haven't gone to Sydney, Australia, you did not dress up as Crocodile Dundee for Halloween, and you do just absolutely do not plan to go there this summer, you might want to do a double take on the stickers only because you're not going to be able to use all of them, probably some of them. They've got some great seagulls. They've got a stork here. They have a bridge here that you could chop off this part, and then it looks like something that you may see in the United States. It's got a sailboat, but all of the little sayings and these little splotches of color certainly you could use. So just decide. To me, it's an inexpensive pack, and it's worth its while for what you can get out of it. But if it's not to you, hold off on the stickers. But this guy for $5, I think you're gonna want. All right. So give me just 1 second. Wanna go outside? Is that what it is? All right. Come on. All right. Sorry about that. Um, and you're probably saying, "Oh, she's just gonna cut that out." No, I'm not. I'm just not that smart. I don't know how to cut it out. That little pause there. All right. So let's go on to the paper pack. I hope everybody went and got a drink of water while you were waiting. All right. So, of course, I always like to point out that this is really flimsy white paper, but it's also photo safe paper. So you can use the back of this to scrapbook stuff if you want to. Great matting paper. This one I have been using quite a bit. It does have words about Australia on it. However, if you use it as matting pieces, not so obvious. All right. We also have one that has seagulls on the back. All right. So there's two sheets of that. This one we could use for anything, right? It's just a kind of a white pattern. And then on the other side, wowza, really pretty. Lots of like flowers that I know that anybody can use. And this one is my favorite. It's got these little waves on it. And on the other side, wowza, super pretty. This reminds me about almost any really cool, watery, sandy vacation spot, right? Like you could see this scene in St. John or in Hawaii or the Keys. All right. So love, love, love. Plus, I just love the colors. All right. So wanted to point that out to you so that you do not underestimate how amazing this particular line is. All right. So I'm gonna kind of put it back, not all the way put it back, because I know y'all are waiting for me to hurry up and finish. I can do that later. All right, so I want to show you one double page spread with it. With these scenic papers, I've shown it numerous of times where you almost don't want to cut it because it's so pretty just the way it is, which doesn't make sense because we buy it to use it. So if you cut it into strips, in this case, I did two 2-inch strips and two 4-inch strips. You can lay them down like this, so 4-inch, 2-inch, and over on this other page, I also have 4-inch, 2-inch. Now I have plenty of room to add some photos. And of course, I'm going to put a photo in this mat. And I made a nice journal box down here. All right. Super pretty, right? So I just wanted to give you a little touch of how beautiful this line is. But now I want to show you how to make something super cool out of your lemon punch. So most of you got your lemon punch last year at National Scrapbook Day, right? And if you didn't get it at last year's National Scrapbook Day, I have very good information to know that this year's National Scrapbook Day is coming up fast. And what that means is things like last year's NSD stuff may not last very much longer. So this was great for lemons. We made all kinds of flower blossoms with these, like that look like dogwoods. Really very versatile little guy. I forget what else we were making with them. I think chickens and just some really cute little things. But today we're going to make a page with the Sydney stuff. And we are going to make fish. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is grab you a strip of paper, and I want you to cut some irregular size strips. All right. We're going to cut 1 3/8 inch strips, 1 3/8 inches. What that is equivalent to is 1 inch plus 1/4 inch plus two little tiny lines. All right. So we're going to do a double page spread. So you're going to go to the 1 inch, you're going to go to the 1 1/4 inch, which is one railroad track over, and then you're going to go two little lines. So if you've gone to the 1/2 inch, you have gone two little lines too far. All right. So you're going to want two of those. 1 inch, one railroad track, two little lines. Make sure you check up here. Make sure you check down here. All right. Now what you're going to want to do is stack them. And flip your punch upside down. And I don't care. This first punch doesn't matter. What I want to do, I want to put it all the way into the very end. I want to make sure that it looks like it's about in the middle of the punch, as good as you can get so that it's right in the middle of that punch. Make sure you don't see any openings here. All right. And then you're going to punch. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing to the other side. The idea, however, is whatever is happening here with this little leaf, so it's facing down there. When you do the other one, make sure it is also facing down. And what that means is you may have to flip your strips over. All right, so when I put this in, if you look at the other end of your paper, your little fish, the little leaves are pointing down. So I want to make sure that's happening on the end. Make sure it's in all the way. Make sure it looks like it's centered in the space, like this space right here is centered. All right. Save your little fish. Next thing you want to do is, again, make sure they're still stacked. I haven't tried this with facing, see how they're stacked. A lot of times I tell you to do this, and I haven't tried it that way. So I'm recommending that you don't do that unless you want to try it with a scrap, because I don't know for 100% sure that that will work. All right. And then what we want to do is we want to fold these on each other. Once you've folded them in on each other, I want you to put some pressure here. Make sure it's nice and flat on that crevice, on that the bend, the crease. All right, and we're going to do it one more time. Again, we're going to stuff it in. We're going to double check one thing. If it fights you going in, you want to pull it out and get that crease a little bit better. Okay. All right, so leaves are pointing down. Leaves are pointing down. All right, so I'm all set to go. Just want to make sure it's centered in the space. All right, and we are saving all of these little guys. Then I need pieces from them. All right. Now what you're going to want to do is find a contrasting color. Just grabbing this, see if this is contrast enough for us. Yeah, I like that. All right, let me see. Actually, let me look in the, yeah, you can still see that, right? Grab some adhesive. You know what? I think that the blue looks prettier. It's a good thing I used repo, right? I'm just going to roll this off. When you use repositionable tape, it gives you some um it gives you some wiggle room when you change your mind about something. A lot of people use it with old photos. Um, makes it a little bit easier to get them up. But I will say that our repositionable, just like our regular adhesive, it does get permanent over time. All right, so you don't have to worry about it falling out of your book just because you've used repo. All right. Yeah, I think it's gonna. I think the darker blue, it'll look like the little fishies are actually in water. I kind of like that. All right, I want my fishtails going up for this. I'm going to give a little bit of space at the top. And then when I trim it, I'm going to trim just a little bit. Remember that trick I think I mentioned last week where you put it in so that you can see the blue. You're going to slide it till the dark blue is completely gone underneath your trimmer ledge so that it's hiding under the silver. And then you should cut again. And it should be nice spacing there. In this case, a little bit more than on the top. So either I can resituate or cut a little bit more off. I eyeballed. My other side was a little smaller than usual. So I'm going to trim just a little bit more off. Hmm. Didn't get my bottom. Probably happening as it's sliding just a little bit. All right, now we like it, right? All right, so next to make, and we would go ahead and do the same thing with the other one. Next, how can we make this more like little fishies? All right, let's grab our hole punch and let's grab our precision point adhesive and our lifter stick. If you don't have a lifter stick, they're $8. You're gonna love them, so grab them. All right, and I am going to out of some of my little fish, I am going to cut some eyeballs. A little stuck there. All right, so dump the little eyeballs out. All right, and I am going to grab my precision point adhesive and I am going to put a little dots closer to the front of the fish. I'm going to do just a couple at a time. I'm going to grab my little blue dots here. I'm going to put it down and use my finger to hold it in place. Once you stick it down, if you don't like exactly where it is, you do have some wiggle room to kind of move it if you want to. Oh, I ran out of adhesive. Do a couple more dots for the eyeballs, closer to the front where his little lips are. Still hanging out there. It's not going to fall off till you pull it off. And one more. Okay, so those are those. Next thing you probably will want to do is cut off some of these. Grab my scissors. By the way, I talked about this little box last week as me loving the spacing and being able to find things in there. I love, love, love it. I'm using the heck out of it, and that is where my scissors are hanging out. So I'm gonna flip it over so you can see better. I am gonna cut just this little piece off like that. And I'm gonna put them there. So let me get my adhesive again. Put a little strip of adhesive there and throw it down. Is that the cutest little fish you've ever saw? Isn't he cute? All right, so that's how you make a fish border. All right, I'm gonna put my adhesive up. No, that's the wrong one. Put my adhesive up. What a joke I am. All right, and then the other lid is that one. And we can finish this later because now I want to show you another cool idea with it. So um let me show you where we're headed with this, okay? And then it'll make you understand what I'm doing. So the final page, I made this with the Sydney paper and actually this was just the Sydney paper. All right. So we've got the cute little fish up at the top. I actually took a pen and made the eyeballs more prominent. You see what I did there? All right. And what all else I did is I added this fun little circle here that I'm going to show you how to do. I also made a fun little journal box over here. This circle will fit your standard four by a circle that you would cut out of a 4x6 photograph. All right. So kind of when I think of fish, I think of bubbles, and we've got little bubbles here, and we've got little dots down there. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to make this. This is not much to it really. You would just cut your journal box to size, and it would be your white part that you're cutting to size. So let me just sure you understand the whatever size your journal box needs to be. And you can use our pre-cut ones too. If you're going to use some pre-cut ones, I would grab ones from Serene Waters. They're going to match this beautifully because this line doesn't come with mats, but Serene Waters mats, if you have any left over from that line, and I think they may be still available also. If you want to buy some, go with it. Um, and then you would put your lines on it if you want to. And then use this little guy. And if you use it upside down, thank you, Joy Lane. She told me that your little screw here actually tells you where it's punching. So that's super cool. So let's say that I wanted just a few little polka dots down in the corner like that. And then maybe a few up here. You know exactly where you're punching. All right. So then you would put that right on top of whatever it is you want to make your journal box out of. All right. And then you can still write and you still have that little decoration and the color is showing through. All right. So what I want to do now is show you how to do this circle. And what's kind of cool about it is I'm using some tools that you probably don't use very often. And they're really genius, cool tools. So just making sure you know that they have the capability. So the first thing you're going to want is a 6x6 square. So cut yourself a 6x6 square. Then what you're going to want to do is put this in the middle of your board. All right. Put a 6x6 square in the middle of a 12x12 service. You're going to start at the top. You're going to go down 3 inches. So that's 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. Then what you're going to want to do is make sure you're 3 inches from the side. 1 inch, 2 inch. That's perfect. All right. So that should look perfectly centered. All right. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to find the center. And a really easy way to find the center is to use these lines, okay? So I'm going to grab a ruler. We have these if you don't have a clear ruler. This is perfect for this because I can actually see my lines and my square. And I'm going to go ahead, make sure you're using cardstock that's the same on both sides because we're going to flip this when we're done. I don't think I'm going to use a Sharpie just in case it goes through. All right. And I'm going to do this way. And then what I'm going to do is do all of the lines. So here's one, here's a diagonal. Actually, this one is here. Pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure you are really drawing where they connect. And then I'm going to do, where's another one? Here's the times ones that go from corner to corner. We've got one here. We've got one here. And one more. And what you should be able to find after that, and there's more reason just than just finding the center for why I'm doing this. So if you're thinking you could just have found the center by the first two, and you're right, I could have. All right, so that looks beautiful. All right, after that, don't move anything, leave it alone. Then what I want you to do is we're going to use this circle cutter, okay? I use both the regular circle cutter when I'm scrapbooking, and I also use this circle cutter. You've seen me use both. I love cutting photos with this one, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. All right. Um, However, when I do a lot of paper stuff, I often will want to pull this one out because I find it to be a little bit faster once you absolutely know how to use it. All right, I am going to use the drawing feature, which is something I don't do a lot of, but this was the perfect time to use it. So all of the white rulers, so there are numbers on this. There's white numbers and gray numbers. On this side, there's just white numbers. Those are all to cut. So if I wanted to cut a piece of paper, like let's say I wanted to cut a circle that photo would fit on, well, then I would need about 4 1/4. I would make sure that I have room. This is the middle. It's like a little compass. Make sure that this thing is on the paper all the way around. You squish in the little white thing, push down, and then you do a really fast circle. All right. So this would be perfect for that photo right there. You see? Super cool. All right. But it also draws circles, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to draw a circle. So I want this to be, set it at 4 1/2, but make sure you use the gray set of numbers. So that's going to be at the other end. All right. So I'm going to go to 4, and there's not really a line at the 4 1/2. You have to make sure it is tightened so that it's right between the 4 and the 5. Right. So one thing I want to show you is we have a little whiskers there. We have whiskers there. We're going to need that soon. All right. So to find the middle, it would be really hard to be confident about this one being in the middle. All right. To be totally confident. This one, because of those whiskers, you can be confident. So when I put this down, the whiskers should be lined up with the top and the bottom. After you've done that, you should be able to, on the camera, to be able to see that line that goes through there. We also want that line to be centered in the space, right? And if you have done that, it's in the middle, all right? Remember, we are not cutting. This is the cut side. We are drawing. You do need a Creative Memories pen. You do need the fine tip side, all right? Not the dot pens. It won't work with the dot pens. You want to put your finger on here like you always do. If you draw with your right hand, you're going to be putting your right hand in here. If you're left-handed, you'll put your left hand here and you will draw with this hand. All right. So I'm just going to go around and draw a circle. All right. Now we're going to do one last thing. We are going to now set this to the 5. And now I am cutting. So I'm going to the 5 on the white ruler. So the white ruler, the 5 is down there. I am going to recenter. Put this where you think is about in the middle. You're going to line up your crosshairs here and here to make sure they're lined up. You're then going to look in the little window and slide it down till that purple line shows through in the middle. All right. Once you have done that, you do not have to check whether you're on the paper because you will be. Just cut around. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do hole punches. And I told you that would be right in the middle. To me, I goofed somehow. But anyways, if you do it right, like I did on both of my other cases, they do look absolutely perfect. But let's go ahead and follow through on this. This little screw, remember, is the middle. And every time one of these bars crosses your circle, that's where I want you to punch. So just put the little screw so that it appears that it's on this line, but also intersecting this line. And then you can go very quickly around. Oops. After you've gone all the way around, you're going to see because there is more space between some of our diagonals on our board than others. I'm just going to bring it up some so that it won't be so obvious that I kind of missed. I still know where I'm supposed to cut. All right. So the fatter pieces of pie, I'm just going to go in the middle and punch again. It's really obvious when you flip over where the pieces of pie are that you missed. All right. This one is way better. That's so funny. Well, anyways, and then it's going to fit beautifully inside your circle. All right. Is that super cool? All right. So try it. It's really kind of a fun technique. Um, and I think it's a really good use of our board and this cool thing with the drawing your circles. All right. So I'm gonna put this up. So if you want to take a picture, oh, it's here. If you want to take a picture of those instructions to remind you, so maybe you don't have to read it again, I'll hold that up for you. Watch it again, not read it again. All right, so that's all I got. If you need some supplies, like I said, the passport just came out, brand new line. Secret boxes are still available. The riveting collection with this groovy cool punch is still available. I can't promise how much longer the lemon will be available. So if you like the lemon, lots of really cool things that you can do with that. Um, in fact, let me just show you one more thing. I can do that with these little fish. Um, you can go like this and cross them over on their little petals, and you get the prettiest little flowers. I like to use 5 of them. Oopsies. And now you can use your hole punch to do some little berries as well. Isn't that pretty? You can kind of ruffle them up and use some foam squares to give it some pop. But if you don't have the lemon, that's a good one. Okay. All right. There you go. Thanks for watching my website. If you don't have an advisor, would love for you to shop with me. If you do have an advisor, please surprise them with an order. My website is www.createamemories.com/user/Beckie, Beckie, Belote, Belote. Bye.